Hi there. So a very warm welcome from the Brixton Buddhist Community and from me. My name is Viryanaga, and so we're testing live stream meditations, live stream classes here at the Brixton Buddhist Centre. So I thought in order to do a little demo, a little test, I thought I would lead us in a 20-minute live streamed meditation for you to join in with. So whatever you're doing, if you can spare 20 minutes. Do go and find yourself a quiet spot where you can sit down. You don't need cushions or anything. You can just sit in whatever chair you can find, or sit in your bedroom, lie on your bed, whatever is suitable for you. And I'm just going to ring some bells and lead us through a short 20-minute mindfulness of breathing practice. So it's always a good time as any to meditate. So let's sit together. So you can just close your eyes when you're ready. And what we're going to do in this first part of the meditation is just ground ourselves in our body. So particularly just bring your awareness lower in your body. So particularly any areas of the body where you feel contact with the ground or the chair or with your bed or wherever you are. And particularly tune into the sensations, in the body. So I'm just going to give you a minute or two to connect with those sensations, and then I'm just going to ring bells to begin the mindfulness of breathing practice. And if you're not sure about the mindfulness of breathing practice, I'll lead you through the 4 stages. It's a 4-stage practice. I'll lead you through the 4 stages of the practice. And as you're bringing awareness to your body, you may like to just focus your attention on areas where you know you hold tension, and you could just check those areas out and just maybe relax them or loosen them if you wish. So you could focus on the stomach, maybe the shoulders, the forehead, the jaw. So you could just soften these areas of the body. And then perhaps you might like to take a deeper breath or two. And as you breathe, try to breathe right into your belly. So try to take a deeper breath, breathe into the stomach. And as you breathe out, just see if you can relax the stomach. So just follow that breath just 2 or 3 times. And then with that sensation of the breath, we're just going to enter the mindfulness of breathing practice. So in this first stage of the practice, you're just going to stay with the sensations of the breath and with breathing. And you can just say to yourself in your mind, after the out-breath, 1. Then breathe in, breathe out, say after the out-breath, 2. And so on, just counting up to 10. With the breath. Now what you might find is you may get distracted, or you may get to 10. In both of those cases that's absolutely fine. All you're doing is just coming back to 1 again. So breathe in, breathe out, say 1 to yourself, breathe in, breathe out, say 2, and so on. So just keeping your awareness anchored on the breath, picking one part of your body. You feel the sensations and staying there. And you may get the sensation of your energy settling, Perhaps your body softening as you breathe. That's okay. Your focus on the breath doesn't need to be too tight. It can be fairly broad. Just feel the body breathing. Just softening with the breath. If you have thoughts come into your mind, that's fine. You can just notice them, notice the thoughts, the content of them, and just let them go for the time being. You can always return to them later. Just come on back to the sensations of the breath. You don't need to worry too much whether you're doing it right. Just carry on recognizing the sensations, being curious about your experience, and just be patient. And eventually you will find that your energy settles and that your awareness of the sensations of the breath is easier to sustain. So the key is always just to become interested or trying to find a deeper sensation, deeper experience that maybe you hadn't tuned into before. So perhaps in relation to the breath, exploring a quality of it that you hadn't noticed before. Just seeing if you can do this along with the counting. Just helps keep the mind engaged in this first stage. And now you can move on to the second stage of the meditation. And in this stage we do much the same. We keep our awareness on the breath, sensations of the breath and our experience of breathing. Except this time we move the counting to before the in-breath. So just say to yourself 1, breathe in, breathe out, say to yourself 2, breathe in, breathe out, and so on. And again we just carry on with this until we get to 10. or we find that we've got distracted, so we've counted higher than 10, or we've just forgotten the counting altogether. So by doing this, it just helps to keep us attending to the breath and help support us as we enter a broader, deeper experience of meditation. So just counting before the in-breath. So you may like to just see if you get a sense of whether the breath feels any different in this stage of the practice, particularly compared to the first stage. Bringing in that curiosity, that interest, engagement if you can find it. Maybe you feel a bit more engaged than when you sat down to start with. And maybe you could just be curious about how else your experience might change in this meditation. So we're keeping our attention on the sensations of the breath. But as I said before, it can be fairly broad. We don't need to narrow too tightly. We don't need to force ourselves. We can keep a general awareness of our inner experience, our emotional state. And just noticing if your body tightens up anywhere. If you're a bit bored or frustrated, you might notice that. But just seeing if you can soften again. Try and stay with the breath. Just try and let those areas of tension or frustration just be there. They will eventually evaporate of their own accord. Now we can go on to the third stage of the practice, and in this stage we just drop the counting altogether and we just stay with the sensations of the breath. So hopefully our minds are a little more gathered now. We've been sitting here for 2 stages, 10 minutes. So we can just allow that counting and that slight busyness to go, and we can attend more fully to the breath. So you're just trying to hold your awareness in an area of the body where you feel the breath strongly. We're just going to see if we can be patient enough to let our experience of the breath expand or deepen. The experience of this will be the sensations of the breath becoming richer or taking up more of your awareness. And all you really need to do is just keep coming back to the breath if you get distracted. And just waiting as patiently as you can with that sense of curiosity and just seeing what will open up for you. Again, even though we're focused on the breath, we can have a broad awareness of our other aspects of our experience. How we're feeling, how we're doing. If thoughts are trying to press their way into our minds. And again, whenever rejecting this, we're just recognizing, noticing. Bringing ourselves back to the breath if we need to, but particularly noticing and alert for any tensions that creep into our meditations, and just seeing if you can soften around those if you notice them, both either physically or emotionally. And if your mind wanders at any point, that's completely fine. You don't need to worry about that. It is just what our minds do. The real practice, the real part of meditation is reminding yourself to come back. Come back to what we're doing right now, which is attending to the sensations of the breath. So now we can enter the last stage of the meditation, and again it's related to the breath, but we're just trying to notice the most subtle sensations of the breath that we can. So you particularly might like to try to bring your awareness to around your mouth or nose, where you first feel the breath enter your body, where the air around us becomes the breath. So where do you first become conscious or aware of the air moving into your body to give you life? You don't need to hold your attention tightly on this, you can just hold it very softly, very gently. And again, we always want to keep that breadth of our awareness, so aware of our bodies, aware of our emotions. But particularly tuning in to an initial sensation of discovering the breath, feeling the breath for the first time. And if you find that you're very distracted, you could just go back to the last stage where you're focusing on the whole breath. But actually, if you're able to just wait patiently, quite often you'll find that your experience will deepen. Experience of the breath, your emotional experience, will kind of gather around the breath, the sensations of the breath, and you might find that you become increasingly aware of very subtle sensations, very subtle movements of air. It can also give the impression of our energy gathering around a single point, a sense of potential, perhaps even a sense of joy, enjoyment, which is always good to look for in our meditation practices. And for the last minute of the meditation, you can gradually broaden your awareness out even more, just holding everything a bit less tightly, and really taking in all the sensations and experiences in your body, and then also opening yourself out to sensations and sense impressions around you, so sounds in the room that you're in, temperature, maybe things you can hear outside. Just really opening yourself up once more to the whole spectrum of human experience, just wherever you find yourself right now. So in your own time, you can just bring this meditation to a close. Open your eyes, take a deeper breath, and just become more aware of yourself in this room, in the room that you're in the space that you're in. And maybe just taking a moment to reflect on what you felt like when you started to meditate just 20 minutes ago, and how you feel now, and whether that's made a difference for you. So yeah, so a little bit of meditation is good to fit in at any time of the day. So I hope you've enjoyed joining me for this short online meditation, live stream meditation at the Brixton Buddhist Community. So we run a range of different events, and we'll hopefully have more stuff appearing online in the near future. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I look forward to seeing you again.